Okay, familia, let's jump right into today's webinar, right? I want to talk about 5 health tips, hacks actually, that's gonna help you to reach any goal you got, whether it would be fat loss or muscle gain. So let's jump right into it, all right? What most people get wrong is that when they are focused on fixing their health or improving their health, they are really focused on what gives them drastic results and drastic changes very quickly. So they focus on diets instead of focus on lifestyle changes. And what ends up happening is that they are so focused on that they forget that we are searching for sustainable results, right? Sustainability. And what happens is that another thing that we do is that we tend to undereat or overeat, which means that we eat way too much food in order to get where we want to get, or we eat way too little food, which ends up crippling our results as well, all right? So those are 2 things that we really need to watch out for. So I don't want you to undereat, I don't want you to overeat. And then the third thing that most people do get wrong when they start on this health journey is the fact that we are so focused and we go all in, right? So you search on the internet and you go everything. You search, you read every article, and everything is just so counterproductive or so counter-narrated that it's like, okay, but is carbohydrates good for me, or is it bad for me, or what is good, what is not good? And what then ends up happening is that, again, you get overwhelmed by all the information, and then that leads us to the 4th thing, which becomes that we overthink the details. So it's like you're so focused on the small things. It's like, yeah, but can I eat, I read some silly article that says that you shouldn't eat fruit after 6 p.m. So it's like, no, okay, but you don't gain weight from eating fruits after 6 p.m. That's not the reason why you are where you are. Like, I can guarantee you that much. If you are overweight right now, it's not because that you all had bananas 6:05. You know, like that is not the reason why you are where you are. Or if you can't put on muscles, it's not because you eat bananas again 6:05. That's not the reason. So we focus so much on the details and stop to look at the wider spectrum. Did that make sense? Yeah? And what I want to do today is that I want to take away the overwhelmness. I want you to stop procrastinating, and I want to give you some clarity when it comes to nutrition. I want to give you more knowledge, and I want us to take the first step together in this. Is that right? Good? Awesome. So if I'm looking here, it's because I'm looking at you guys in the screen. So if I'm looking there, it's because we have the camera set up differently. As always, we have officially moved again. We now live in another place here in Malta. See how long hopefully we're going to stay for some more time. And I want everybody to get this right today. That's why, again, we're doing a Q&A and then, because if you don't get this right, there's a huge chance that you will be so discouraged because of all the hard work that you put in. So you end up stopping or end up not taking the necessary steps in order to move forward because you've been putting in so much work and you're not really getting any bang for the buck, so to say. You always feel lost or like out of control when it comes to your nutrition and your health. And this also tons of long-term health decline that's happening due to these things that I spoke about just, right? So like we all have probably started something in the project. It could be dancing, training, nutrition, whatever. But then at some point in life, we just get so tired of all the information and tired of feeling overwhelmed. So we start to just go deeper and deeper and deeper. So your health decline, and what ends up happening is that you never reach your fitness goals, right? So the big idea that we're trying to talk about today, it's essentially 3 things, right? There is no such thing as training, like you can't out-train a bad diet. You guys probably heard that before. It's impossible to out-train a bad diet. And just a quick example of why it is impossible to out-train a bad diet, and just to put some numbers into it. So imagine that you're eating a Big Mac at McDonald's, right? Everybody here has been eating a Big Mac. You order a medium fries and a medium Coke. I haven't been eating that shit in years, to be honest with you. But when you do that, I'm gonna give me more zoom here so I can make my point. And I'm staring at you guys. Here we go. So when you are having, let me see one time. Take it a little bit far. So here I go. So when I look serious into you, you get my point here. If you eat the Big Mac, medium menu, it takes what? How long times it takes? Approximately, 15 minutes, if even. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on, give me a thumbs up if you agree on 15 minutes that it takes 15 to 20 minutes to eat a Big Mac. You get a thumbs up? Yeah, burger and fries and a Coke. Yeah, I know. It's good. It's good that everybody's shaking your head because it's terrible food. So I'm glad nobody's really can relate to what I'm saying, right? Yeah, Axel says that's long. Yeah, okay, so let's say 10 to 15 minutes, right? Let's be realistic. So during 10 minutes to 15, you just consumed 1,000 calories, all right? My total daily is 2,600. So if I eat a Big Mac, I basically ate like a little more than a third of all my food, right? A little bit less, sorry. But if you train, and you're gonna train a guy like me, approximately, 85 kilos, a little less than 190 pounds, or a little bit over 190 pounds. If I'm gonna burn 100 calories, it can take me up to, let me see, I wrote everything I have, between 90 minutes to 2 hours of running, like consecutive running in incline. 100. So if I want to burn 1,000 calories, I need to run for an hour and a half to 2 hours in incline. Did that make sense? So that's just to make the point that you can't out-train a bad diet. 1,000 calories takes me 15 minutes to eat, takes me an hour and a half of running to lose. All right? And that's just the calorie part of it. That has nothing to do with like how you internally feel, right? So that's the big idea when it comes to overeating. But then at the same time, we also have undereating. So if you undereat, or if you overeat, you're never gonna reach your goals. If you undereat, it's gonna be, I love this analogy and I said it 1,000 times, but I'm gonna say it again. Imagine that when you are not eating enough food, like when you're starving yourself, right? You see people that starve themselves, they'll eat really, really unhealthy, but they don't lose weight. And the reason for that is because your body goes into starvation mode. And if you put yourself in the shoes of like a caveman or a cavewoman when we were hunter-gatherer tribes, like I'm really talking about our ancestral living or our ancestors, what they were doing is that it was very hard for them sometimes to find food, correct? It's not like they had an abundance of food and they can open the fridge and just go in and grab something. And what happened was that your body developed this system that when we're starving, instead of the body starts to eat all the muscles and eat all the fats, your body just says, fuck this, we're dying over here, what are we doing? Let's hold on to everything because we're not getting any food, all right? So see that as somebody's hugging you. If you're gonna see your spouse or your kids or whatever, somebody you like, if you're gonna see that person tomorrow morning again, you're just gonna give them a quick kiss on the cheeks. Good night, see you tomorrow, not a biggie. But if you don't see that person tomorrow, maybe you're gonna see him or her a week from now, you're gonna hug that person and give, like, you don't wanna really let go, right? Like, you're gonna hug and give it 2 kicks on the cheek and hug and just stay a little bit. Like when you see your grandma hugs you really, really long because she don't know when she's gonna see you again, right? Same thing with food. If you give your body a lot of nutrition, it's gonna be very easy for your body to release the things that you don't need, unnecessary fats, etc. Use all the proteins and use that for muscle growth and fat loss instead of starving yourself. Does that make sense? So you have the analogy about the longer hug when it comes to undereating, and you have the Big Mac example when it comes to overeating. All right? So that's like the big idea that I want to run over today. But we want to find lifestyle changes That's the biggest thing of today. It's just going to give us easy tips that we can use whether we want to build muscles, put on weight, or burn fat. All right? So, tip number 1 is have a conscious breakfast. Again, these are the 5 tips that, or I'll keep saying tips, but 5 hacks that you can start implementing today about your nutrition to reach your goals faster. All right? Tip number 1, whether you want to gain weight or lose weight, have a conscious breakfast. All right? And when I say have a conscious breakfast, is have maybe water for breakfast. Let's go if you want to lose weight. All right? Let's say you've been overeating for the longest time, and now you want to get back on track. Maybe you're trying intermittent fasting. So you drink water for breakfast. You skip breakfast. All right? If you've been overeating, then now it's time to do the reverse, and we skip breakfast for some time.
I didn't understand that.
That's strange. Somebody's listening to me. My phone is listening to me. I don't know if I should be scared shitless or if I should say, psst, I'm not surprised. I don't know, it was scary. If you overeat, if you've been overeating for some time, cut the breakfast. If you've been undereating for some time and you want to add weight, again, have a conscious breakfast. This is the tip number 1. Have some type of shake for breakfast. Have a lot of protein. I eat between 6 and 8 eggs for breakfast. But I'm a big guy and I can eat breakfast whenever I want to eat breakfast. All right? Most people don't have that luxury. So maybe you're the type of person that don't really like to have a lot of food in the beginning of the day, or maybe you live a really hectic life and you get kids and stuff. You need to leave at school or whatever. So then maybe just have a protein shake that you've done the day before. I love whey protein. I think it's fantastic. I mix that with some creatine. Creatine and whey protein are my 2 supplements that I'm actually using when it comes to muscle building. Then I eat tons of other supplements also. But whether you want to lose weight or put on weight, having a conscious breakfast is really, really, really important. Cool? Make sense? All right, any questions on the breakfast part right now, or we want to take all the questions later? Later. Awesome. That's the first thing, a conscious breakfast. Whether you want to lose weight or add muscles, having protein is of extreme importance. Is the most important thing when it comes to all the food options, right? No one is better than the other. You need all of it. But protein is the one thing you really, really want to focus on. Especially if you're eating mostly plant-based like I do, having a strong breakfast with a lot of, or at least a strong first meal with a lot of protein inside of it, really, really helps. I highly suggest you follow that tip. Okay, that's number 1. Option number 2, however, water. I keep hammering that nail over and over and over again, so it's going to be really, really fast. But whether you want to lose weight, put on weight, drinking enough water is of the highest importance, because your body consists of 60 to 70% of only liquid, like only water. So you are, by definition, a dancing cucumber. Like you are, how much is a cucumber? 98%, and you are 70. I mean, you're not that far away from a cucumber. You know what I mean? It's just very important that you stay hydrated. Brain functionality, weight loss or muscle gain, it doesn't have it's not like, oh, drink 3 liters of water and then get rid of 4 liters. That's not exactly how the science works. But what it does is that your body lives in an optimal environment. So all your cells, your muscle cells, it lives in an optimal environment for growth and all of your fat cells lives in an optimal environment for decreasing, right? So constantly have a bottle of water next to you, all right? Let's do a fantastic cheers, everyone. Let's do a quick cheers. I'm assuming if you're watching this webinar, you should have a glass of water next to you. Chin chin. Of the highest importance to stay hydrated. I personally recommend a gallon for any man, 0.8 for any woman, 3 liters and a half for any dude, 2 liters to 3 liters for any woman. All right? Not saying that you queens can't drink 3 liters, just pointing out the fact that physiologically you're usually a little bit smaller than men. That's the only reason. Cool? Second thing was water. First thing was a conscious breakfast. Third thing is to, if you're not tracking, you're slacking. My coach for the longest time was a bodybuilder. It was like, oh, he is a bodybuilder. Serious one. And he always told me, Sebastian, if you're not tracking, you're slacking. That comes with a caveat. I don't think everybody should track everything all the time. I think that's absolutely ridiculous, all right? But what I do suggest you do, if you never tracked your food before, is that you take a week time, 7 days, and you track everything. Everything, for 1 week. Why is that? Because chances are you're under-eating, or chances are that you're overeating. Because if you are anything like me and you've been saying to yourself, I'm just gonna listen to my body, I'm gonna be honest with you, you probably don't speak the same language as your body, so you have no idea what type of signals your body is sending to you. You might think that you are hungry, but you're actually dehydrated. Again, that's what I'm saying, start with the water. So that might cause some confusion, but let me explain. When you are thirsty, your body sends signals to your brain. But those signals are up to you, your emotions, like your conscious self, to interpret. Your body just sends you signals. Your body doesn't consciously send you hunger signals or water signals. It sends you, there is a lack of something signals. And then your emotions, your conscious self, interpret them as you think they should be interpreted. Did that make sense? So, if you're not tracking, you're slacking. Track everything for a week. And then you have some numbers, then you have some insights. All right? Then when you have some insight, it's like, okay, but am I eating too little? Am I eating too much regarding where I want to go? Or considering where I want to go? Then you take that into account, you extract that knowledge, and then you slap it onto a piece of paper and like, okay, how much should I eat versus how much have I been eating? And should I now, with my conscious breakfast in mind, should I skip breakfast or should I add some really, really protein dense to my breakfast? Maybe what type of supplement should I eat, etc., etc. Did that make sense? Really important hack to put into your mind. Number 1, conscious breakfast. Number 2, water. Number 3, if you ain't tracking, you will be slacking, or you are slacking. Number 4, implement cheat meals. And what do I mean with that? A lot of people talk about cheat days and cheat weeks. They're going on what's called a bulk, which is when you eat tons of food in a fixed amount of window, or fixed eating window. Maybe that can be a few months, or few days, or few weeks, whatever. And you just eat as much as you can, and then you take that away. All right? I don't think that's a good idea, honestly. Like, I don't think that is sustainable for any one of us. I think it's sustainable if you're living a really extreme lifestyle. If you want to live that lifestyle, awesome, I support you. However, if you are just into fitness, like myself, and you want to be healthy, live longer, and just have a, you know, overall healthy relationship with food and alcohol and just drinking and whatever, I don't think indulging on a fucking food race or a food marathon for a couple of months or even a day is something that is sustainable for up here. I think it's a pathway to a really, really destructive relationship with food or creating bad eating habits. I think we can all agree on that, right? Like there's a chance if you have that destructive relationship with food that it can be a slippery slope, right? So what I suggest instead of that is cheat meals. Every once in a while, schedule it if you want to. You go and you just eat and you don't give a shit about what you're eating, right? I'm not a cheat day type of guy. I don't feel good if I stuff my face filled with sugary things for a lot of for many days or for even one day. It's not my style. However, I really like pizza, for example, or pancakes or whatever. So then every once in a while, I just slap on, I order pizza and then life is good. And I train just like I was supposed to do the following day, or I don't change anything. I don't beat myself up over it, but I know I'm gonna have a cheat meal, so I'm good. All right? One thing that I do suggest, however, is to maybe put a cheat meal budget in. And then I don't even like to call it cheat meals, to be honest with you. Like, I don't even like the word cheat meals because I think it has like a negative tone to it, because it's like I'm cheating. I'm cheating on what? Who am I cheating on? My girlfriend, my diet, or myself? Or who exactly am I cheating on? I see it more as a refill day. Like I have a refill meal. Once a week, or twice a week, or 3 times per week, whatever I decide, I have a day or a meal where I fill up my body, get extra energy, and then I have a great workout afterwards. All right? Because that's essentially what it is. You're filling up your body. Right? And then you can have all types of different, like calorie cycling, carbohydrate cycling, fucking cheat weeks or cheat months or bulking season or cutting season. Or if you want to be a bodybuilder, amazing, let me know about it and I will point you in the right direction, because that's absolutely not what I do. But if you want serious lifestyle changes and you still want to be able to, you know, go out and have drinks with your family, or do like Danny, for example, who just left to travel somewhere to meet a friend and then skinny dip and have good food hopefully, and then take some drinking, and then, you know, just enjoy life for all its fullest and see it for all the 5, 6, 7, 8 different dimensions that exist on this earth. If that's something you're interested in and you really want to live life to the fullest, awesome. Let me know. I would love to help you get there even faster. All right. I saw that someone wrote a treat meal. I mean, yeah. I don't really. Yeah. If that sounds better to you, you know. But then again, it puts like something positive or negative to it. We call it a value judgment, right? I don't think it's a treat. I don't think I treat myself when I eat pizza. I think I like it, but I like Malaika's food more usually. Because then if I treat myself with something positive, then again I put a value on the food that I'm eating, instead of just I'm eating this food because I'm refilling up my system. You know? It works for me. I'm not saying call it what you want. Just have meals, refill meals, treat meals, cheat meals, whatever you want to call it. Don't have cheat days, weeks, months. Cool? Last and most important is what I call systems over willpower. That's the 5th tip. Systems over willpower. And what do I mean with that? Is that I have different system set up in my home, in my house, in my life, that they just work. So I don't need to think about it. Okay, how can I explain? If I write, for example, every week we send out emails. I write the emails and I write them in a software, and then when they're done, I leave it. But I know they will be sent out. Why? Because David is scheduling them afterwards. So we have a system in there together. Every time I wake up, I follow a specific routine, so my day just becomes awesome. I remove some friction. I don't spend money on sugar, for example. Why? It's just a system I got. It's a rule I got. I will never ever buy soda. I wouldn't buy tobacco for any of my friends. Why? Because it's a system, it's a rule I got. Another system I got is that as soon as I put food on my plate, now for a couple of months I have a scale. So I put the scale there and then I smash it in, and then I remember the number, and then afterwards I put the number into my phone. It's a system I got. Did that make sense? Because if I don't have that system and I will rely on willpower, I need to muscle my way through the day. I need to muscle my way through the day. I need to have willpower to drink enough water. Every day I put out 2 big bottles of water. Boom. This is a gallon. We are 3 people living in our home. So I remove the sticker. Pop. I remove the sticker in a second. Beep. Then I know these 2 are mine. They're right here. They're going to be there all day. I'm going to drink this one, because I like to drink out of glass. And then slowly but surely, they just chip away down, chip away down, chip away down. When they're finished, I'm done drinking for the day. System, not willpower. Because if I had to go and find water bottles, and if I had sugar in my home, or if I had to write the emails and then send it to David, and then David needs to talk to me, and then I need to do this, and then I need to do that, there is so much willpower that comes into it, so it's just going to be so much easier to say, you know what, fuck it, I just buy pizza. Meal prepping every Sunday, that's a system. Walking into a store with a grocery list, that's a system. Reaching your calories every day, that's a system. All right? Having your foods made out for you, that's system. Systematize this shit. Much easier instead of need to like mentally muscle your way through it. Did that make sense, that last tip? Yeah?
I actually love this one. This one is amazing.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
So, I think system over willpower is one of the most powerful ones, like Amalia is saying. It's like, you don't want to muscle your way through shit. Like mentally muscle your way. Like, I'm done eating for today, right? I'm done eating already. So, it's easy. I think that's also one of the things when it comes to like me, Sebastian. Again, this is not for everyone, this works for me. I like to count my food. Not because I don't want to overeat. For me, it's the reverse. I want to count my food because I undereat. I forget to eat. I honestly forget to eat. Like I'm so into my work. And I'm a foodie. Like you need to understand, I'm a super foodie. But just if I don't have a system in place, it can go weeks without me reaching my macros. Like reaching what I want to be able to consume in one day in order for my body to function optimal. Does that make sense? So for me, I need that system. Every time I have my vitamins, so I eat vitamin D, I eat vitamin C, I eat vitamin B12, I eat iron, and sometimes omega-3 and magnesium every day. Not sometimes, every day I eat that shit. But as soon as I don't have it in the same cabin where I fill up my first bottle of water or I take my morning coffee, if they are not there, I forget it. Why? Because then I need to remember it. So then I need to muscle my way through eating my vitamins. But if I have a system in place, super easy, it's right there, shwip, eat it, done, day continues. Don't need to think about it. Super easy. Tell me in the chat right now, what are some of the systems, now you heard this, me explaining system of willpower, what are some systems that you have consciously or subconsciously from before that has helped you to get to where you are today? What are some systems that you've been using previously? It can be in health, in, dancing, in career, in talking to family. What are some of the systems that you got that helped you to get to where you are today? Another system could be when you're at dance practice, right? When you're at dance practice, you come with a plan. I have a system, I follow a system. So the first 5 songs, I just groove, I warm up. After that, I do this type of exercise. After that, I do that type of exercise. Then I freestyle for blah, whatever, right? Because personally, even when I'm working, I'm following a system. Like, I'm so scatterbrained. What is good with me is that I know that I am, but I'm so fucking scatterbrained. So if I sit down and say that I'm gonna write emails, then I leave an exit for my brain to come up with an excuse to close the loop by itself. All right? So if I say, yeah, but I'm gonna write emails. Okay, but how long? Long enough. Yeah, but I think long enough is good now, because then your brain starts to talk to you. Yeah, but good enough is now, after 5 minutes. Yeah, but how long is long? Yeah, but just long, until I'm finished. Yeah, but you finish now. So I put up a system. Again, I'm gonna write emails for 45 minutes, then I'm gonna take a break. Then during that 10-15 minutes I have a break, I put another watch, I look over it, should I continue or am I done? And we are done for the day! Yeah! Alright, familia, that's it for today. It's time for some of us to go to sleep. Personally, I'm gonna stay up because every coach has a coach and I have a coach, and my coach lives in Australia, and it's 8 a.m. in 30 minutes in Australia, and that's when this motherfucker likes to have his webinar, which means that I need to stay awake. Quick recap: 5 nutrition clips, conscious breakfast, water, track, sheet, treat, meals, whatever you call it, system over willpowers. The last one is extremely important. All right? I'm gonna say bye, dancers. You all gonna say 4 dancers. Let's unmute yourself and let's jump right into bed. Let's see here. Boom, here we go. Turn your camera on so we can see your beautiful faces here. All right, wait for the camera in 3, 2, 1. Alright, familia, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here together with me. I love spending time with you. And remember, as always, bye, dancers.
Bye, dancers.
Alright, appreciate you. Take care. Ciao.